And like Bill O'Reilly, we're live! Should be live. Okay. So right now, I've actually done a lot of work on Shift RMM, but I haven't done a whole lot of documentation about how do I get telegraph on all the things. And tonight we're going to remedy that. Oh. Cool. Wrong repo. Shift. All right. So what's happened recently is we redid the front page of the project. So that way it's just informational. Hey, we're an open source RMM that cares more about everything on your network than just the Windows boxes on your network. Tell you how you can contribute. Please submit an issue. Please submit code. We don't have anything fancy going on as far as, what we require from you. It's Apache 2 license. It's the fancy don't sue me license. Active hardware. This is something, please, we need help with, is that I've kind of monitored all the things that I care about and that I use, and I've noticed that when I monitor stuff with test data, I visualize and think about it differently than when I'm doing it with real life data. So having someone's active hardware in the wild that they use sending telemetry data back would be super helpful if we want to implement a new platform. Talking with a friend of mine or family member of mine that likes Fortinet stuff and needs a syslog server and would like just like some dead man alerts and stuff like that. That's going to be super helpful. And like I said, my day job's actually going to be really helpful with that and let me use the tools that they use, that I use at my day job and implement Shift RMM for that and contribute it back. So thanks to those people, but active hardware helps. Money is also very nice, so if you want to buy this as a hosted solution because you don't like setting things up with Ansible, that's not your jam, that's not how you provide value to your clients or how you monitor your stuff, it's fine. And it actually makes sense to outsource monitoring a little bit. Having, your monitoring system on-prem and having it managed by the same people that are managing all the servers runs the risk of a mistake you make configuring your network, taking out your monitoring too, and you're kind of blind to some of your own outages. That kind of sucks. So that's one of the huge upsides to farming this out to somebody else is that my config changes and my mistakes and outages probably aren't going to overlap with yours. And everybody has outages and mistakes, even Cloudflare. So I'm not salty about that this week. Totally didn't have, my traffic get rerouted to weird places. And we also just mentioned streaming. The other thing is we have a docs folder now, and that's where we're going to be adding a whole bunch of stuff tonight. Is we have documents to install it, but we need to figure out how do I implement telegraf and get it on all the things. That's the hard one. Mesh Central is super easy. You just go to the website and download the thing. Telegraf's the big one, so. And I can actually do that on stream without divulging any important information. So let's crack open code, or Codium, because I like Microsoft's open source editor, not a huge fan of their proprietary stuff. Don't need that. That's been, actually keep that around. Suricata conf. Save that. So let's look at our source tree here. Let's commit that. So let's go here, do a commit, just so that's separated out and I'm not mixing in documentation with Suricata stuff. Needed for OPN sets. commit that. We don't have to push yet. Next thing we need to do is make a documents folder inside of our IDE here. So in the docs, make a new file. So Ansible shell script. Or I think it's bash. I haven't looked at the shell script in a while. I'm pretty sure it's bash. Bash script. Ansible. Currently to install telegraf. I'm wondering if I should do a separate folder. Yeah, I should do a separate one for telegraf, or a separate folder for telegraf. So let's make a new folder for telegraf. Move, there we go. Currently on Linux, we support installing. We recommend using our Ansible, and I'm going to spell check off stream. Thankfully, I have somebody that's really good at spell checking, at grammar and all that good stuff. Currently on Linux, we recommend using our Ansible. But there is also a shell script available. If you are not able to use Ansible. We are currently support Debian 10, Ubuntu 1804, and newer. Fedora and whatchamacallit, Red Hat based distributions. So Ansible, setting up your inventory. Only thing that is required is that SSH is I'm not going to mention Ansible pull exists. It probably works. I just don't test it and use it. If it does work and somebody does want to validate it, cool. Otherwise, meh. The only thing that is required is that SSH needs to be open on all endpoints, and Ansible is I shouldn't say open, accessible on all endpoints, and Ansible installed on the machine. Ansible can be installed by following the Ansible By the way, if you notice any grammatical errors, feel free to roast me in chat. I work best under pressure. And now we're going to do what every good IT professional knows how to do, and that's Google stuff. And I recommend using the OS packages. I try to avoid like pip and programming specific or language specific package managers because that's more package managers, more problems. More things for security auditors to get mad about. Places. Particular info for FlexDB and Etsy defaults telegraf. Edits config files and Etsy telegraf. Adds code signing keys and repos for influx data. I think I got the ordering kind of messed up, but alright, so the first thing we have to do is set up our inventory. I'm going to pull up my personal, I need to check out my personal inventory. And then, oh, I haven't done a shift RMM install on here, huh, have I? That's actually a good thing. Etsy, Ansible, host. Alright, so my token is actually visible, so host /inventory. I'm just cleaning up my inventory really quick so it doesn't have any like particular information that matters. One thing I am glad to say is that I've gotten much more familiar with Neovim and Vim key bindings recently. That's helped a ton. Get your own token. Alright, we're to the point where you guys can see it. Insert Etsy or host. We're going to need Zoe. local.matthias.me. Let's do Aaron local.matthias.me and Erwin. We'll just do these three for chat, and I'll just get a burner token for now from our database. So the way we do that, we go over to here, we go over to data, go to tokens, we want to read-write token, we want to scope it to the bucket, and stream token. And this is like, so I can actually get everything set up. I think for Telegraf we also need a document for managing the data, or something for InfluxDB to manage data, but we'll scope that out later. Docs might be incomplete for a hot minute, which I'm fine with. Okay. So we're gonna take our stream token, copy it to the clipboard. So now we have our token. Now we need to put what we had in our document, and we'll just use a burner token for here. Ansible inventories can be any or text file, but you will need the following in your Ansible inventory. I think Ansible is a proper noun. Ansible inventory. The default inventory is in triple backtick Etsy Ansible host. I'm capable of writing okay documentation. It just it's not fun for me. But in order for people who aren't Linux gurus and in my head, they're going to need help. And this is a different monitoring setup, since the remote control agent and the monitoring agent are completely divorced, mostly divorced from each other. That's definitely a lot different. Is an Etsy Ansible host. We use a thanks. Shelby in chat just mentioned that she's proud of me for getting better at spelling, and that's something that has gotten better. I've journaled a bit more recently, not terribly a lot, but yeah, working on documentation. Default inventory is an Etsy Ansible host. We use a YAML, yet another markup language, inventory. So if you are using an inventory, separate inventory for almost lost the praise that I had there for a second. I should keep an Ansible, separate Ansible utility for shift RMM. You will need the following lines on your under vars. also want to keep hosts one per line with a. You will want to keep your host one per line with a colon at the end. Example inventory will look like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I have this set off in a separate inventory. I'm just setting it up for these 3 hosts, so that way it will make sense for other people later. Because the users section, I just noticed, doesn't mean anything right now, so. Let's get an example inventory. Token from your InfluxDB database. Influx.example.com. And yes, I'm keeping the Attack on Titan names in the documentation. That just makes me smile when there's like a consistent theme in documentation. A fun Easter egg in the Python docs is that everything's Monty Python themed. So like for the list, it'll be spam, 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 spammity spam. And it's all Monty Python stuff because that's what the language is named after. So all the example hosts are probably going to be anime related. Like all the stuff in my network was Attack on Titan, and everything with my girlfriend's network was 7 Deadly Sins. So it's going to be a combo of those two now that we've had a very large migration event, as in we moved in together. Okay. Let's copy the get your own token. One per line with a colon at the end in the host section. Actually, not like this. Zoe, Erwin. Hosts for IP addresses. As shown in the example below. Inventory's hard. The bash script is just yeet. But it's not as easy to understand and doesn't scale as well, and writing bash sucks. Fun fact. It's ugh. ESSEC for cases, it's not fun, or ESAC. bash scripts. Okay. Cloning. What does the script do? Ansible. And you have Ansible installed. Have Ansible and Git installed on machine. Okay, awesome. So now we need to clone the repo. And Ansible and Git can be installed from Linux distribution repository. Wait, hold up now. I forgot how Markdown worked for a second. And Git installed. I think that's a lot better. Cloning the repo. Next, clone the repo by running the following command. Cloning the repo. One tricky part about documentation is who's your audience. Do you know how smart or dumb your audience is, or smart or dumb might not even be the word, just how familiar they are with things and how much you can take for granted. Because some people, like a DevOps engineer, like, oh, install Ansible. If they don't know what that is, they're probably not a DevOps engineer. And if they don't know how to install it, they usually know how to search Google or use the search engine to find it. Git clone and cd into for deploying the role, make sure you are in the RMM repo, and you have run git pull, so you are running the latest version of the Oh, yay, kitty. Come here, kitty. Come up here. Come up here, kitty. Yeah. I got a kitty on my lap. See? I got a kidder. Say hi, Juge. Yeah, good kidder. Boomer kidder. I like the boomer kidder. I joke that I stole this cat. It used to belong to my significant other. Now it's our cat, but she jumps in my lap a lot. Kitty go purr. To deploy. Latest version of the default inventory. Run Ansible playbook. Telegraf YAML as become pass. You will be prompted for your pseudo password on those machines. This script silly edge cases. You are using a pseudo password on all your machines. You will have to. That's the tricky part about Ansible, though. It's like, what are you supposed to do? So the benefit, Shelby, of us living together is that we both get the key. She still cuddles you. Separate password with all your machines. You know what? If you're using separate pseudo passwords on all your machines, file a bug with me. You will be prompted for your password on those for those machines. Those machines. Use the. I'll be nice. I'm waffling on it. Using separate pseudo passwords on each machine, then you can attack L flag. Host name. Yeah, then you can use the TechL host name to bring it on a single host. Host for host if you are logging. This is turning into the Ansible documentation. If you are logging onto the server with a different user, use the tag you IDX Ansible playbook L Zoe attack you Tom telegraf.yaml ask come pass. Yay! Bash script. I haven't used the bash script in so long. Right, quit. So now we need to run this. We need to run this on this host. So let's get our own Docker, Ansible, playbook, telegraf, attack, YML, ask, become, pass. Yay! Bash script. this is the tricky part. Forgot about that. And that shows up as a different terminal session. Oh, never mind. So I have to figure out the SSH agent thing. Oh, and we need to flag it with the correct inventory. Well, I would need to flag it with the correct inventory. I'll just use the default one for now. It has the same content in it, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, I haven't deployed this to my PC yet. No wonder why my life's been so happy. We're gonna have to figure out that connection issue. Because I'm assuming 0 Ansible knowledge, which is going to make this more difficult, but yeah. So playbook still works. Gonna double check that that works with what is it? TAC L, Zoe. And then TAC U, Matthias. And then I'm going to use the inventory boom, just to make sure that I had everything right. Cool. So I'm going to put a to-do in the documentation for setting up SSH with Ansible, or find like an article that'll help you out with it. I don't plan on rewriting the Ansible documentation. That's just a waste of my time. And I'm going to do a worse job than the people that were paid by Red Hat to do it. Those guys are smart. Those folk are smart. The other nice thing about like doing it with the defaults file is that it saves a task from happening where I have to rewrite the whole config. It's just rewriting the, was that 4 lines in default? Yeah. So that works. If you are running into issues with SSH and Ansible, follow this step. Ansible SSH setup. that's the code one. I'm slipping. Been teaching too much today. Been training the new guy at work. I had to teach kids how to fight each other in kids jiu-jitsu today. Now that's earning issues with SSH and Ansible. Follow the Ansible docs. Bash script. The bash script just assumes that wget is as root or as sudo with root permissions. I should put assumes GitLab.com to download the script, run. Okay. Is it github.com or do they have a different one for their CDN? Scripts, Linux, telegraf, install, bash. Or no, I need to find raw. Copy. No, it's not copy. You actually have to run it. Go to file history, permalink, open raw. Okay, cool. GitLab CDN is on a separate domain. wget. Oh, if you're on Control-Shift-V, it's the Markdown preview. That's freaking cool. Wget. Run. Next, you have to run the script with, or you need to edit the first few lines of the script. Maybe I should like be a little more specific. Need to edit the following lines. In the first lines of the script, match your settings. To run the script, sudo bash. Yeah, I'm using bashisms. Am I using curl or W? Yeah, I'm using wget. you get? Oh, I'm using curl. Well, that too. I need to fix that. Yeah, well. I don't feel like testing it right now. Bash scripts. I need to fix that. Curl is installed. Because that's bloat, man. Having curl, 2 CLI browsers, it's such bloat. No, that's just an oversight. I was probably using it on like Fedora desktop with both of them installed. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of dumb. Because like VPS providers and LXC images don't usually provide one or both of those. Sudo bash install hyphen telegraf or telegraf install install.bash. To run the script, run sudo telegraf install. To run the script, sudo bash telegraf install.bash. Woot woot. Yeah, that's like all there is to it. The bash script is obviously easier, but meh. To run the scripts, yeah. Or bash telegraf. Alright, so that's enough of the Linux documentation for now. Yeah, that's good enough to get going. You will also need a token with write permissions. iSquirreled. Get your own token. You also need the following. Okay, there's no also there. Avery. Linux bucket to be on the InfluxDB docs for getting a token. Love RTFMing people in my own documentation, but InfluxDB is going to give you better documentation. So. So one thing I do need to figure out is how to get the additional config files in via Ansible, because that would definitely get more people to use it. That's definitely going to be the tricky part. Let's do cloning the repo for the Ansible role. Yeah, this documentation stuff's going to be a bear. Because Linux is the platform I do this the most on, and it still took me like an hour, but totally worth it. Totally worth it. What does script will do? Setting up the inventory, and this way I can put like the docs on the Shift Systems website too if they're all in Markdown, and just do like a sub module. So it's a worthwhile investment. It's just woof. Doing documentation is hard. Host inventory. If you're logged in as root. Oh yeah, adding additional configs. I think. I don't know if that should be its own file or not. I think it should just be its own heading. If you are adding in, or no, because the other configs require some instrumentation, I want to say. Like if I go into, let's go into the source tree. So if you go into the source tree and look under, what is it? Telegraf configs, Linux. There's the syslog stuff, which requires its own instrumentation, and the web stuff. I think I'm going to add in the PHP FPM stuff too, because, yeah, being able to monitor slow requests is important. Oh, Proxmox is just going to be RTFM. I can knock that out quick too. Additional configs. Add additional config. For Bash, I'm just going to tell you tough shit. I'm going to tell people tough crap for Ansible, or for non-Ansible users for adding additional configs. And I'll make a note once it exists, the ability to put in like the web conf and stuff like that. But nginx.md. Let's do another one, new file, proxmox.md. Or Proxmox is actually hard because you have to set up the metric server. Adding. Since I've done a blog on this before. Adding. But now you can do it through the GUI. This document requires you have a token with write permission to the Proxmox bucket. If you need help getting a token, follow the InfluxDB documentation. Proxmox. Log into Proxmox with a root account. Sign into Proxmox really quick. 306. Copy my OTP token, and you get to watch my bad security practices. Actually, I'm going to store the password in the password manager, so I'm memorizing that. If I was real big brained, I would actually just remember the OTP shared secret and perform the function on the fly for math there, but that's actually hard. To click on the server, you to collect metrics from 3. Click on, what is it? Click on the server, or, oh, cool. Click on, I didn't know there's a data center option, that's awesome. It makes sense. Click on data center. Click on the metric server sub menu. Or click add. Influx DB. Type in a name. I'm not going to do pictures right now. That could be future Matthias's problem. Type in a name. The server should be yo, what? Did they add? No. No. No freaking way, man. Proxmox metric server. So this means I wouldn't have to have telegraf installed. Holy yes! Just all the yes. I'm gonna do the token off stream really quick. Or grab the token off stream really quick. 0.8.8.6. I am beyond hyped right now. Settings, or data, tokens, AWX can go away, AWX tower, stream token I don't need anymore. So let's generate, or no, I'm just gonna use the proxmox1, copy to clipboard. What are the advanced settings that you can have? Huh, neat. Yeah. Can't see the whole token. Dude. This is wild, though. This is freaking wild. Traits. Shift RMM. Remove. Yes. Because this means until I care more about like ZFS scrub metrics, I can just do this. So this is pretty dope. The name, the server should be the host name of your Shift RMM server. Edit. P443. I'm also going to start getting PagerDuty alerts if I actually broke something, so that's dope. Yay! Felt the same type of the name. Yeah. I want to put for the name whatever you want it to be, but that would be highly unprofessional. Server. Host name of your Shift RMM server. Server. Port. The reason why I'm doing all of this wrong is that I know what it should be. I also just realized that I might get flagged for copyright because I let my playlist go way too long. No copyright sounds. Victory. Shovel. Thankfully, I don't get enough views to make money off of this, but that's still a huge oversight. Need to make a longer no copyright sounds playlist, but yeah. Port should be 443. Port 443. Organization. And then bucket. Proxmox. Token. 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 Token with right permission to Proxmox bucket. Yeah, I don't know really how to put that one. Okay. I have to retoken Proxmox, but that's easier now. Alright, so setting, or explore. Sorry. I'm just super excited if that's the case. Proxmox metrics. yeah, we haven't had any dips in the past. Yeah, nothing dips. So SSH root at 10.0.0.3. What is it? Etsy. Forget what it is. Where's the documentation? Etsy. Where is it? Oh, Etsy PBE status. At Etsy PBE. Where is it? PBE status? They gotta put the token somewhere. But yeah, so they put the token somewhere too, which is dope. Okay, I'm about this life. I am about this life. Yeah, so that's like super cool. That makes me a happy penguin. So we're gonna save the documentation. Nginx, that's Future Matthias' problem. I'm just cleaning up like my IDE stuff. Okay. So we're good there. So let's add in. I've added this file multiple times, so let's just go ahead and discard changes, delete file. Added Linux and Proxmox docs. Woo woo! I'm a happy geese goose. Push. Alright, so yeah, I'm calling it a night. I got a lot of good documentation. Or I got like solid documentation for Linux. Probably by the time I'm back next, I'll have it edited and cleaned up a bit. Because I don't have spell check in VS Code yet. I need to do that. And I'll have someone review it. It's been real. I'm just ecstatic right now, though. So yeah, good sharing with you, folk.